Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you are having a fantastic weekend. Happy Sunday to you and your family. Obviously, we're taking a look here at Terra Classic once more. And I got a lot of requests asking me to kind of just review why I felt it's going to break out yesterday and did. Mostly just a couple handle pattern, and I'll go ahead and explain that too, kind of what goes into that. But if you are new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I've been trading for over 17 years, however, and I just love teaching people to trade. That's kind of my thing. It's my full-time job, not only doing that, but trading every single day for a living. I actually send out signals for all the trades that I take, and those can be found on our website. In other words, cryptocash.tech. You can log in with the registration there, and of course, if you decide you want to become a community member, we have an amazing community, and of course, a trading university too, teaching you everything that I know. So it's a fantastic experience. Be sure to check that out. Again, there's a tremendous amount of results there. I mean, we've got some pretty awesome traders in the community, and we're just having a great time. The majority of them are using BitGet as well, and the main reason why it's got fantastic level 2 data, really awesome bonus transfer funds, essentially, if you were to basically transfer and use the exchange. Bear in mind, you do have to trade with volume in order to qualify, but it's a nice benefit available up until November 30th. Message me if you have any questions regarding that, but the link in the description below, if you use that, you can essentially benefit from this transfer fund. It's really awesome. I was able to get that within 5 days of transferring and trading with them, and it's just been a great experience ever since. So be sure to check that out. That's a really cool exchange. So Terra Classic here. Simply put, the easiest way to summarize it is it broke out above this resistance level. I was mentioning 31,000, if you saw yesterday's video, is the key level resistance. And once it breaks and it's retested multiple times, it'll continue higher. As you can see here, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests, 6, 7, and then 8, and the 9th attempt came through. And I think I summarized just kind of an average. On average, if you have a retest of a resistance or a support level, for specifically on the daily, for 8 to 12 different days in a period of a shorter period of time, then you're going to experience usually a breakthrough. And a breakthrough like that will cause a short squeeze to occur where the price action shoots higher because the volume is increased, at least in that moment, okay? As we can tell, we've had lower volume in general from Terra Classic the last couple of days, but today, of course, a lot more volume being put in because the prices come up and come down. A lot of profits are being taken too. So again, it's no surprise the price is coming back down to retrace to this other Fibonacci retracement level. 0.618 is a very, very common occurrence in Fibonacci and nature in general. It's a reoccurring theme, and you can see that it's basically holding the price action in place for now. Okay, so that could and should work as a resistance level for the moment, likely retrace down to 31,000 and perhaps a bounce to the upside. We'll see if that has potential. Generally speaking, that's kind of what we're looking at. So above 50 on the RSI, this is something I've been talking about for a while, how beneficial it is to keep that, as well as the fact that we are working into a resistance level, but we didn't have 50 at the resistance on RSI. That was a support, so that allowed for that continuation to occur. We've also got a MACD convergence here on the daily, implying that we probably should see further upside. It may not happen today, just so you know. Today's red candle makes perfect sense, but in a few days, perhaps a couple, maybe a week's worth of consolidation at this area, we should be able to see the price action continue higher. That's essentially what we're hoping for and looking for. Moving forward on the 4 hour here, you can kind of see it a little bit clearer, this cup and handle pattern here, where of course the price comes down, comes up to retest that level that's been tested multiple times in the past, comes back down for it, kind of to continue that ascending trend and then break to the upside. This was drawn out yesterday, if you saw my video, and essentially expected the price to shoot up the way that it did. Now, of course, a lot of different scenarios can occur. I didn't expect it to come all the way up to about 37,000 though. That was a nice little bonus. So I hope you were able to take some profits. And by the way, if you did, comment below. Let's celebrate the positivity. Let's make sure that we all, enjoy this time that we have, which is green trading instead of red trading, for example, because the bear market doesn't give you a lot of opportunity. I mean, take a look at this. The market is just garbage red right now, okay? It's just kind of the way that it goes. So anyways, celebrate the small stuff, and obviously make sure you take your profits. I really hope you had taken your profits. Oh, one last thing too, this just reminds me. I just created a bunch of social media, Instagram, Facebook, and I think my Twitter's been around for a little bit longer, but trying to get that built up. So if you have an opportunity, go ahead and follow. I'm going to be constantly sending out updates, and eventually I'm going to actually start offering some promotions and giveaways too. So be sure to check that out and pay attention to that. You can only obviously learn that if you were following me. So appreciate it nonetheless. All right, so here's the thing with the 4 hour. We are no longer overextended. It shot way up there. It was testing 70 on the RSI yesterday when we last made the video, and essentially blasted straight through it, right? Oftentimes that works as a resistance level, but it came back down, which is nice. So we can have the price action continue sideways without further exhaustion. Okay, so this is actually a good thing. It's good that it did this, and it's good that the price action is below 70 on the RSI. I prefer that on the 4 hour. I think it's much better. We're above all moving averages here as well on the 4 hour too, and that's a very, very positive thing. Furthermore as well, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour. If I'm not mistaken, we're obviously probably well above the cloud, but we want to keep in mind here that this could come to an end soon. So in other words, the price action could very well continue lower to the 31,000 range. But if all goes well and the cloud continues to stay in good shape, we could essentially come down here to just say 32,000 and ride it out and continue higher. It's very common for that to continue the price action. Because again, when I covered this yesterday, the upper lead on the cloud here was holding the price action in place, concurrent with this ascending trend. When you see that working with ascending trends, it's a very positive thing, okay? So again, something to kind of think about there. Is definitely not a guarantee there, but it certainly increases the likelihood of us being on the right side of the tracks. Okay, because again, when you're using technical analysis, it's not an exact science. I've been wrong plenty of times. Trust me on that one. But you can be right more often than not if you kind of extract information from different time frames and understand generally what's going on, and just kind of taking the past and applying it to the future. So that's really what we're doing. And at this point here, so far, it feels like we're going to probably see a little bit more further retracement, because this is a key level resistance here at about 33,600, at least for the moment, that 0.618 in Fibonacci. But if that doesn't hold, just say, the price will obviously continue higher. What we want to look for is higher highs and higher lows. And what's interesting is we actually have a parallel line here, so to speak. So you could almost say that there's a support level at 32,700, because the price action retraced there, bounced, and retraced here, and so far has bounced. A little too early to tell, but that is absolutely a potential thing. Okay, so again, mostly positive there in that sense too. My speculation is that one of two scenarios will happen. The price will come up here, get rejected, come all the way down to 31,300 and bounce. That's a potential reality. Another potential reality, of course, is for the price action to break through here, use that as a support and continue upwards. And then like a tertiary option, you could say, is for the price to come down and essentially just ride out the cloud and continue higher. I think mostly there's more likelihood than not that the price action is continuing upwards. We got a MACD convergence on the daily. We're above 50 on the RSI on both time frames, and there's no reason for this to be quote unquote bearish. It's just profits are being taken because it shot up really hard, really fast, right? I mean, we take a look at these two candles here. That's 15%. That may not seem like a lot, but for whales, that's some really good chum right there. Okay, so it's absolutely makes sense the way that it's working right now. Okay, you got to really try to train yourself too to think that, hey, when what goes up must come down, and there's always going to be a ceiling. And I'm willing to speculate if we look at the volume weighted average price, we're outside that standard deviation, and that caused the price action to come back down. Okay, so again, every time you see that, it's a perfect short opportunity. Specifically if you can see it above 70 on the RSI though, right? And to my community members, if you would like this notification, I can go ahead and provide it to you. But I have basically an indicator telling you when the price is, when you're supposed to get in here, essentially, basically giving you a confirmation on the 15-minute that you have two 15-minute green candlesticks above the EMA and the volume weighted average price line. And then of course, when you see this purple, that's really implying that you're overextended and you're above 70 on the RSI. And the best time to sell is right when the price comes down, where the RSI is starting to taper off. Okay. Again, that's just a little day trading strategy that I have that I used previously in the past. It works phenomenal for traditional markets and futures, and it works equally as good in crypto trading. It's just that volume weighted average price resets every 24 hours, so it can be a little interesting depending on the time of day you're trading. Either way, I cover that again in my university. I hope you can learn from that if you're currently part of my community. Make sure you watch those videos and just keep watching them over and over. I know it sounds crazy, but the more often you can kind of train yourself to have better risk tolerance and better risk management, the better off you're going to be. Always use the same position size every time you trade. Don't take profit today and then add that profit to tomorrow's trade. That's the recipe for disaster. In fact, we were talking about this in our community. Take your profits and remove it from the exchange and keep that base amount the same. Okay. So again, just some different schools of thought, but if you're using leverage, low position sizes, we have an XRP trade right now that's not going the way that we want. And hey, that's just kind of the way that it goes sometimes. So, but if you're not using a lot of leverage, you're going to be able to survive and to be able to recover from that later. Okay, so please understand that the low position sizing with high leverage is extremely important, because leverage will wreck you and liquidate you, and you can avoid it altogether if you just kind of relax and take it easy with small position sizing. I know it's difficult, but if you don't apply a gambling mentality, you should be in pretty good shape. All right, so again, just some things to kind of think about. I'm going to draw this little trend line out here as well. See if we have that as a potential for tomorrow. All right, so that's all we got here for today. I hope that you learned something. Obviously, if you did, comment below. Love to hear more. And if you're not following me on social media, please just ask you go ahead and follow and all that good stuff. And yeah, again, I'm gonna have some giveaways, some awesome opportunities in the near future. But at this point, greatly appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.